I am against the impeachment effort by the Democrats. President Trump has held over 600 rallies in the last 4 years. None of them included assaulting police, destroying businesses, or burning down cities. Democrats have spent all this time endorsing and enabling violent riots that left billions in property damage and 47 dead across the United States. Democrats' impeachment of President Trump today has now set the standard that they should be removed for their support of violence against the American people.
Well done, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican of Georgia. Just been on the job for about a week or so, and there she was defending the president. She's back with us tonight. Welcome back. You were on last night. Big hit, by the way. Welcome, Congresswoman. How do you feel about today, first of all?
Well, I'm absolutely disgusted with what happened today. What the Democrats are putting the American people through is atrocious. It's a waste of our taxpayer dollars. And they're pouring salt in the wounds of 75 million Americans who voted for President Trump. This is not why I wanted to come to Washington. I wanted to actually work on real problems. But it's apparent that we definitely have real problems now, Greg. And this is why I wanted to come on your show tonight. I'm tired of Republicans that lay down and allow this country to be ravaged, allow Democrats to abuse their power and their positions. And I believe it's time for Republicans to stand up for the American people and do a good job in Congress.
Very well. And yes, 10 or so Republicans did this as well. We'll have more on that in a bit. Congresswoman, I understand, though, you have something pressing, something important, and something new you'd like to share with everybody.
Yes, I would like to announce on behalf of the American people, we have to make sure that our leaders are held accountable. We cannot have a president of the United States that is willing to abuse the power of the office of the presidency and be easily bought off by foreign governments, foreign Chinese energy companies, Ukrainian energy companies. So on January 21st, I will be filing articles of impeachment on Joe Biden.
Wow. Articles of impeachment on Joe Biden on his first full day as president. I'm looking at Hunter Biden right now, so we're talking about Joe. Obviously, we know Hunter's got issues as well. How is that going to work? You are a freshman. You're in the minority. What will happen next? Is this symbolic, or can you really do something about this?
Well, like I said, I'm a big believer in having people in office that are actually willing to do the job. And I can't imagine people in this country being so fearful of a future of a Biden presidency that they may be willing to commit violence like they did in the Capitol here in Washington, D.C. We cannot have that. I do not condone that violence. The American people need hope. They need to know that there are Republicans in Congress that are willing to stand up and fight for them, regardless of being in a minority, regardless of having all odds against us, against me, or against anyone in Congress. We have to hold people accountable. Joe Biden is on record on the phone saying that he would withhold $1 billion of foreign aid if he didn't get his way with these deals with his son, Hunter. And there's an ongoing investigation with Hunter Biden's laptop into being bought and paid for by communist Chinese energy companies. This is a dangerous threat to our country when we have a man that will be holding the power of the presidency, but will so easily and is on record for abusing power.
We're going to play that phone call. I'm going to actually make an arrangement to get it in a moment. But while we do that, I want to ask you, and I'm going to just play devil's advocate for a moment. I'm, with you on Joe Biden. His corruption, well, it looks very corrupt. Let's face it. It hasn't been proven 1,000%, but I think it looks very bad and warrants further investigation, definitely. But you just said a moment ago, you didn't go to Congress for this kind of thing. A lot of us are frustrated. I know a lot of the American people are frustrated about COVID relief, and, there are other pressing matters. What do you say to that? That perhaps, we don't need yet another impeachment right after this one, 3 in a year and a half? Maybe let this one go. Just devil's advocate here.
No, absolutely not. We don't let criminals serve in our offices like president, or even Kamala Harris, who shared the Minnesota Freedom Fund bail link on her social media, asking people to donate money to bail criminals out of jail that attacked small businesses, burned down the city, attacked the police precinct. These people need to be held accountable. Republicans have not been strong enough in doing that. So it's time, if they want to if they want to lower the bar on what impeachment is, then yes, let's roll with it. And the Americans want this to happen. Americans are sick and tired and fed up, fighting for the economy. We need to reopen America. That's how we get our economy back on track.
So we have that phone call, which never received adequate attention from the media. They didn't even try to explain it. They just kind of brushed it aside. But this is Joe Biden talking about, kind of bragging about how he muscled Ukraine into doing what he wants. It's fascinating. Watch, everybody. This is after he left the vice presidency a few months later.
And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. I said, you're not getting the billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired.
About a year after he left the vice presidency. And it's so wild. He's basically doing out loud what they accused President Trump of doing behind the scenes. You're new in Congress, and, they got that whole rank and seniority structure there. What are people like Kevin McCarthy? How receptive do you think they'll be to your idea of impeachment of Joe Biden?
Well, I hope Kevin McCarthy leadership and all of my Republican colleagues will be receptive to the will and the needs of the American people. We don't need a man serving in the presidency of the United States that is guilty of committing the crime of abuse of power and is under investigation with Hunter Biden's laptop, his very own son. This is not the direction our country needs to go in, and I hope my Republican colleagues agree with me.
We will be watching very, very closely. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, just how long have you been in Congress now? 10 days? It's been very, very eventful, and sorry again about what happened on the Capitol last week. Very briefly, where were you when it really got bad? What did you do, and where were you?
I was in the chamber, and they were trying to break down the doors. We had heard the gunshots of when the young lady was shot. Very tragic. They were all inside the halls of the Capitol, all around. I'm so grateful to the police, and I just want to send heartfelt prayers to the family of the police officer who died. And just our Capitol Police are wonderful. We're so grateful for them.
Yes, indeed. And the loss of life was tragic. Got to find out, though, how all those people were able to get in the Capitol and why there wasn't better preparation and anticipation of what happened. Again, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Congresswoman from Georgia, Republican. Thank you very much. To be continued. And
thank you, Greg.
You bet, you bet.
Newsmax TV is now America's fastest growing cable news channel. We give you the real news you need. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. If you like this video, share it with your friends. Newsmax TV streams live on YouTube for free. Newsmax TV, real news for real people.